Throughout Australia, there is an estimated 15 to 20 million feral cats out in the wild. Researchers point to them as responsible to the death of over 75 million native animals in the forest every night. That includes bandicoots, sugar gliders, koalas, koalas, parrots, water dragons, and snakes as part of the menu. Since the European settlement, it has been recorded that 29 endemic animals have vanished on the face of the earth, and 1,800 more species are critically being monitored. Researchers also show that feral cats are increasing in number and are in fact getting larger in size. With a 10% decrease in its original fauna, Australia is indeed considered to have the highest extinction rate in the world today. This dwindling ecosystem found an ally with the dingoes. Researchers have found out that dingoes are our best bet in restoring balance in the wildlife. As apex predators, they are capable of exerting dominance to smaller predators such as the feral cats. Dingoes are their natural enemies, thereby in the process controls feral population and their behavior in the wild. Dingoes are now considered the keystone in the Australian mammal biodiversity, and a constructive management on them are seen as the answer to the wildlife crisis. If this were the case, the option is to open up a part of the 5,500-kilometer long dingo-proof fence stretching from Queensland to South Australia. This would mean allowing the wild dogs to recolonize again to the better part of New South Wales. The debate about dingo rewilding has been on the drawing board for such a long time. The disappearance of 9-week-old girl named Azaria Chamberlain in Uluru being attributed to dingo has brought the dog's reputation to infamy, hence the fence. The fence, for all intents and purposes, represents the stigma that Australian people hold against the dingoes. As they are, I have learned that all the data are relevant in the discussion, but I also learned that the stigma as a result of public perception are relevant even so. However, for us to move further, we have to acknowledge some aspects of this debate as a matter of fact. First is that the Australian ecosystem is indeed dwindling, and that the Commonwealth Environment Protection and Biodiversity Act of 1999 already considered feral cats a serious threat to biodiversity conservation. In a similar breath, the Australian Geographic also stated that Australia has the world's highest mammal extinction rate today. Dingoes holds the key, but something is holding us back. It's our fears, and the longer we harbor this fear, the more we aggravate this situation. The dwindling ecosystem is one problem, but our indecision to brave this issue is quite another. In hindsight, by putting up those fences, we are in effect meddling into the natural process of the ecosystem. The natural interplay of prey and predator to create balance of nature have been stymied. If there is one lesson learned, it is that nature has a way of charting its own course. If we attempt to impede on that, the ramifications could get devastating, like the problem at hand.
But this is not without hope. We can still do something to save our environment. Let's use the platform that all of us are familiar at. Let's use our blogs, our websites, our Facebook and Instagram accounts, and other social media to educate the public. Let every Australian who cares should take part in this debate. Let this be one of our advocacies. We cannot afford to sit on our hands any longer. We have to make that decision. Let's get our acts together before it's well too late.